Grand final time here at the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Ultimate Jam, presented by Order and Fuel TV. And Renton, I could not be more excited for this. We've got 4 competitors in each format, and they are going to be the best of the best.
Man, what can I say? We are at the final part of this historical tournament. The first time we've ever done a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Ultimate Jam. And man, I think it's going to get heated in these finals, that's for sure.
Look, I can't wait for it, and let's just jump straight into it. The formats that we have for you, of course, we've got 3 of them, Renton, and they're all as competitive as each other.
Man, we've got the Jam, which is basically my favorite. A lot like skateboarding, just going out and filming your best run. 2 minutes on Burnside, no overtime. We've got the Combo, which is basically the single best combination you can do on the historic bullring setting from Tony Hawk's The End video back in, I think, 1996. Man, that's epic. And of course, we've got the speed run, which is all about just getting it done as fast as you can. And wow, this is going to be good.
Yeah, and that's on Maul as well. I'm really looking forward to that one. It's just a straight shot from start to finish. There are very little mistakes that you can make. I mean, there's really no mistakes that you can make when it is grand final time, Renton, because of course your score is final and you have no more opportunities to win. And speaking of winning, we have the prizes here to discuss. We got 3 wicked prizes for each format winner, plus a little cheeky tidbit at the end. So make sure you stick around to hear what that is. So Tony Hawk Birdhouse deck. We've then got the independent trucks and that humor store credit. Pretty much with all of this, Renton, you've got your get up for skating.
Mate, banging prizes, super rad. Man, setting the scene for just an insane episode and final, I reckon.
I could not have said it any better myself, Renton. We've got 4 competitors for each format. Only the best can walk away with all 3 prizes. We're going to go to a short break, and when we come back, it is going to be the Jam. It's time. Let's get into it. Welcome back from the break. It's time to get into the Jam format, the grand final. Only 4 of the very best of this format have gone through. Renton, I'll let you talk about everything that we're coming to expect from this specific competition.
Well, we've got in the Burnside map. Burnside, as all skaters know, super historic spot out in Portland, Oregon. Built by skaters, shredded by skaters, and now we have the gamers hitting the Jam format in this final. So basically a 2-minute run, whatever they want to do, it's just all about their highest score, and well, that's about it.
And a bit of style on the side, a bit of flair. Now, of course, we have 4 of the competitors. We've got Kane, we've got Flurpy Actual, Coach Judge, and finally B Shay, who we know has been quite phenomenal throughout. We will talk about the 4th and 3rd run because unfortunately we don't have time to show everyone's run, Renton. But the 4th run came in with Kane, who had, well, quite a gnarly run, you know, all things considered. Still came in around the 23 million mark. We got to watch it just before we came in. What did you think of it?
Man, some super shredding from Kane. A few tricks that I really liked. Got the Christ Air 540, which is a classic maneuver, and anytime I see that sort of stuff, I'm pretty stoked. I think he did some 900 to 50/50s, which is like a super dream trick that, you know, that's the beauty of these games. You can do all these crazy tricks. Yeah, man, he was shredding. Unfortunately, 23 million just wasn't enough to cut it.
No, and that's the crazy thing, because coming in at third was Coach Judge. He ended up with 43 million, so nearly double what Kane was able to achieve. We saw the start of his run, had a massive base score. I think the flips is really what kind of got him over the end with the with those combo scores, Renton.
Yeah, a lot of original maneuvers, lots of flips of the board, lots of flips of the body. The 900 to board slide for me is a bit of a standout. Again, just like a super gnarly trick that you would never see in real life. So to see it in this game, that just stokes me out. But yeah, again, just missing out. But man, all these skaters just shredded up and yeah, super competitive. And to make it to the final, I mean, that's some serious business.
It certainly is, and speaking of the final, we may as well get into the first run, Renton, because that's where all of the action's going to take place. This is where we're going to determine first and second place. Now, Flurpy Actual, he had a pretty good, you know, entrance score the very first time we saw him on the Jam format. Feel like he kind of popped up every now and again. So once we get into his run, I think it'll be really telling to see what he can achieve. He is one of the skaters that we, you know, can expect a lot from. And right now, as of this moment, he is in the top 2.
Man, loving that transfer, method transfer. Laying down the hammers.
So very early on, I mean, the base score isn't as big as what we've seen before, so he's going to have to make up for that elsewhere. I mean, very possible to do so. Those warp speeds, man, they trip me out every time I see them.
Man, laying it down. Also
now,
digging the choice of camo pants, man. Always makes you look a bit smoother.
Now, what's really curious to me, and if you were watching the other runs that we were just talking about, very much a different line here from Flurpy Actual, sticking to the outside of the ring. Most often, you know, kind of hitting those grinds as many as humanly possible. Again, just keeping that base score. Realistically, you know, the flips are great for the multiplier, but the base score is where most of your points will come from as you start to multiply them, and you have to be able to hit those verts quite high.
Yeah, man, absolutely shredded. He's got this lot of street moves, which is funny because it's Burnside being a mainly transition park. Flurpy mixing it up. That tail grab 360 1 foot, man, that's one of my favorite tricks to watch in real life. That's great.
I wish I could keep up with what's actually happening with the tricks. It's all too intense for me. I'm going to be completely honest with you, Renton.
I think as soon as I've said it, it's about 10 tricks ago.
Now, with 20 seconds left, he's already hit that 270,000 base score. He's got a fairly decent multiplier. You can see in between every manual and grind, he's smacking those flips out. This should be actually pretty decent, all things considered.
He's definitely laying it down.
All right, let's see. He's got 2 seconds left on this. Got to finish up. 54 million. Okay, Flurpy Actual coming in with, again, another 10 mil on top of Coach Judge. So that is actually quite a significant gap between third and second place. What did you think about it? It looked, for all intents and purposes, Flurpy Actual kept his pace and everything quite well.
Oh, man, he stepped it up. I mean, all of these riders just blow me away. As I mentioned in one of the earlier episodes, I thought I was good at this game, and then these guys pretty much, well, I don't know. They definitely humbled me, and I mean, that was ridiculous. But obviously, that was a second place, so I'm shuddering to think how heavy first place is going to be.
Well, you know what? We can find out how heavy it really is, Renton, because we're going to have it ready in just a second. It is, of course, Bishay. Now, this is I think this is the scary thing for all competitors. We've seen how clinical Bishay is on these runs. I'm expecting nothing less here.
Oh man, absolute surgical destruction on every level he's hit on the jam format from Bishay. Man, how's the height on his airs, man?
Well, I mean, like, we're not even seeing him. That's how high he's going. He's hitting the top side of the map.
Whoa, the Benihana.
Okay, you're going to see very quickly how vastly different the base score is that he's starting out with in comparison to any of the other runs. Like, look how much height he's getting there, Renton.
Wow. In the rafters.
This is absolutely insane. I mean, that alone, that kind of height allows you to pull off so many of those vert grab tricks, you know, any kind of flips you want to do in the middle, and you can just see it just keeps going.
Yeah, wow, right underneath Burnside Bridge there, man. Wow. Also digging the way he's got like the red grip tape and the red hat. Just like those highlights just really accentuate the moves that he's doing. It's like a true pro
Now,
of the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Okay, so he's missed the half pipe that time. He's missed that high vertical. But what's already insane, 45 seconds left, he already has the same, if not a higher base score than what we saw from Flurpy Actual at the end of his run. So this, I have absolutely no doubt, is about to blow our minds away as per usual from Birdhouse. The man's an absolute demon on the sticks.
Man, the fingers of fury laying it down.
I mean, like,
he's one skilled customer, the old Birdhouse, I reckon.
This is going to be outrageous. I can already feel it. He's almost up to a 200 times multiplier. He's over 300,000 base score. It just keeps getting higher and higher, man.
He's absolutely relentless.
Yeah, and there we go. Down to the last second. He gets one last trick in. Man, this guy is insane. 72 million. That is another 20 mil or thereabouts on top of Flurpy Actual. Just to put that into perspective, he is 50 mil above Kane, who is sitting in fourth. And Kane is an absolutely insane competitor. That blows my mind, man.
Man, congrats out to Birdhouse laying it down, and the champion of the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Ultimate Jam format with 72 million. Wow. Give it up for Birdhouse, man. That's some serious effort and laying down in the final, man. That was rad.
And I think, you know, we've got to give him credit because he's been doing this consistently the entire time. He's been showing off his final form, and maybe he's going to peak even more so because guess what, Renton? We've got the combo format coming up next, which is Birdhouse's Arena. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back just after this. Now it's time for the format that has blown us away, Renton. It is time for the combo. This one here is absolutely outrageous. We've seen some pretty mental things. All
right, so we're in the bull ring, which is basically from back in the day, Tony Hawk's Birdhouse, the end video, I think 1996. We're looking for the single best combination. So it's one trick of just as many things as you can cram into it as possible. Grinds, manuals, just... you got 5 minutes overtime, and wow, this one is going to be hectic.
Yeah, you've got a potential 7 minutes to make your run. Now, of course, the four that we have coming up in this competition, we've got Kane, we've got Birdhouse, we've got Coach Judge, and we also have Zamdog. So this one should be very interesting. Now, we're just going to very quickly talk about who came third and second, because unfortunately, Coach Judge didn't get his submission in, which is perfectly fine. But looking at third place, Renton, was, of course, Kane with 17.5 mil. We just saw that run before you and I behind the scenes in the green room, if you will. And to be fair, it did look decent, but he still had plenty of time to work with.
Well, I mean, I don't think this map does them a lot of favors. They have to really earn everything they get. And I mean, they're all amazingly good at the game. But, man, they're up against the best. And, wow, it's showing. I mean, it's a battle for everybody.
Yeah, so Kane came in at 17.5 mil in third. We have Zamdog in second with 38 million. And his run did consist for, I would say a considerably longer amount of time than Kane. So he was able to over double his score. Did you have any takes on Zamdog's, apart from, of course, the purple hair that we saw?
Oh, man, for me, I stoke out on the purple hair and the pink hair, the pink pants. Frontside tail grab, 1 foot 540. That really stoked me out. That's a trick I'd love to do on a skateboard. And I mean, there was so much in there. These combos are so insane. But that was the particularly part that I thought that impressed me the most, anyway.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And I think it's time for us to get into what will most likely be the most impressive run that we've seen. It is Biche who came in at the #1 spot, Renton, and we're going to have a look at his run. This guy has been absolutely insane, showing us some things that, to be fair, I just didn't think were possible. So this combo run on Bullring is sure to surprise most. And I think, after watching those two original runs, Renton, there is a pretty, let's say, easy line to hold around the outside of the park itself, which is, of course, in between the grandstand and the actual park.
Wow, Varial 540, it's a rad trick, because I think Tony Hawk did that trick on the actual Bullring when he did his video part in it back in 1996.
Oh, man. Well, that would be beautiful if Biche was... honouring the great with that.
Well, that could be a homage to Tony Hawk.
You never know. Man. You never know.
Wow, the power of his flick, Biche laying it down.
And I know I speak about it quite often, but really the big difference that I see separates Biche from a lot of the competitors is how early that base score just skyrockets over 100k. You got to remember, every time he throws in another trick, it is just adding to that multiplier. So very early on here, he set himself up quite successfully, and you can see the line he's kind of following here, Renton.
Yeah, he's got his line, he's got his go-to tricks, he's just laying it down, nice and consistent, like a nice routine. Loving that rodeo just there. Also digging the way he's COVID safe, he's got his mask on.
Yep.
Keep all the bulls safe in the bull ring, that's some...
And there is, of course, a bull that is most certainly rampaging around the outside of it. You'll see it from time to time, especially with a run like Biche's, which I'm sure is going to be it's gonna stick for quite some time in overtime. I have no doubt about it, knowing Biche and the way that he makes these runs possible.
Well, he's got 25 seconds left, and then he's into bonus time.
Okay.
Wow, every trick it barely just sits for a split second, and then he just flips straight out.
Yep.
Flips straight back into another trick.
As many as you can, and I mean, what I find really interesting is you will see Biche, even if he's a little bit further away than, particularly than maybe where the grind does allow him to start, he'll hold a manual just for a second longer, because of course once you manual twice in a row, the third time loses your balance. So you'll see every second time he manuals in a row, he holds it. I think you'll see it here, waits until he's at the very top of the vert, and then goes again. So I mean, he really has this down pat, Renton. He's going to absolutely obliterate this. This terrifies me, this guy.
Yeah, well, we're well and truly into overtime. And he's absolutely just putting on a clinic of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I love seeing these historic spots, each of these maps has their place in skateboarding history and their own stories in themselves.
It really is annihilation. What's really crazy is the fact that right now he's been going overtime for God knows how long, and he's also still holding that multiplier around the same. It just goes to show how vastly different these parks are, Renton, and what you need to kind of nail right now. Look at, like, just look at the... I'm going to call it, it's monotony what he's doing. Like, he's literally just hitting the same line over and over again, but that multiplier on the right is skyrocketing.
It's just routine destruction.
This guy is just flying through the roof. I think he's just having a bit of fun now. This is just looks so casual for him, so calm.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
He's the winner.
Oh,
yeah. Get over Biche, man. I mean, Biche taking it out. Another one, 169 million. I mean, I'm no mathematician, but that is just a solid thrashing of the rest of the field from Biche. Absolutely laying it down, man. This kid has got talent, that's for sure.
He certainly does. An absolute animal on the sticks. There is no way to put it. He has absolutely demolished everything that we've seen him in. And speaking of seeing him, Renton, we have him parkside. Let's go have a chat with him.
Rad.
And here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Biche himself, our double format winner, both jam and combo. It's good to see you, mate. Look, before we get into any of the antics of it all, how long have you been playing this game for?
Since September the 4th, since the very first day it came out, the remaster.
Jeez, you've been grinding this game that whole time, huh?
Well, I stopped a few months ago because I was doing a challenge to get 100 mil on all maps.
Yeah.
And when I finished doing that, I just had nothing to do on that game, so I stopped playing until this tournament came out.
Wow.
Jeez, you've clocked the entire game and then you're back in it for the competition. Renton, questions?
Well, I mean, the last sort of few weeks of doing it, how often have you been playing the game? Like, how many hours a day?
So, for example, for the bull ring, I was playing that. It took me maybe 4 days straight to just get that one run of 169.
Holy crap. Actually, that's a really good question, is like, how do you find the lines in the game? Like, how do you find where you're going to kind of, get your points from?
It's all from the community, the Tony Hawk's community. They all share lines, everyone gives their knowledge to each other, and they just put it together and make something great,
That's right. Hey, so do you ever like just cruise through the game, like just sort of just take it nice and mellow, or is it all just an onslaught?
I do cruise through the game sometime. There's a lot of players that do like improv style on the game, which is just freestyling around and stuff like that. I like to do that too. It's pretty fun.
And so you won 2 boards, man. Like, what are you gonna display one, or are you gonna skate one, or you got any ideas? Or
definitely gonna display one, and with the other one, I'm not too sure yet. I've got a little son of mine, so I might hand it down to him or something like that. So yeah.
Right.
Nice, man. That's sick. That's sick. Now, I mean, you got $1,000 in Puma store credit. Like,
that's so sick.
Yeah, man. You're gonna go get yourself a get up, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Look, I've got one final question for you, mate. Given your ability in this game and the kind of levels that you've brought to us and you've shown us, I've watched a lot of Tony Hawk Pro Skater, on YouTube and things like that, and there are some pretty insane scores. How do you think that you match up worldwide? Like, do you think that you are one of the best?
No, I wouldn't say I'm one of the best. Definitely not.
That terrifies me.
There's some highly skilled people out there that play this game, and they're really insane.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I think Biche could be a pretty humble cat too, so I think that also might play into it as well.
Could well do. Well, Biche, do you have any final thoughts, anything you'd like to say before we let you go?
I'd like to say thank you guys for this opportunity. It was a great experience, and thank you so much. Yeah, it was great.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for that, Biche. It's been a pleasure having you on, and it's been a pleasure watching you throughout the weeks in the competition. So we wish you the best of luck in the future, mate.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. So there we have it. Bishay, not only the jam winner, but also the combo too. He's shown us some incredible things, Renton, and honestly, I couldn't be happier with what we've seen. He's an absolute character throughout, and I could not have more pleasure with that interview. He's been an absolute legend. But we are going to be heading over to the speed run, so don't go anywhere. Coming up, it is our final competition. Well, we're here, Renton. We're finally at the end conclusion of the big dance. It is time for the speed run. And to do so, I think I'm going to let you talk about this format. It's one that is just really about those milliseconds.
Mate, all about the speed. Need to complete all challenges on the mall in the fastest time they can. Wow, we've got some demons on this one, and it really is coming down to the wire with our final last two. And wow, I just cannot wait to see how this one pans out, Rob.
And four of those demons, of course, we've got Crofty, we do have Zamdog, we've got Kane, and lastly, we have Nace. Before we get into the run itself, it's actually kind of nifty. We haven't been shown yet, but we've been told about it by our wonderful producer, so I'm keen to have a look at this one. But we do have in fourth place Zamdog, who I think came in with about 55 seconds, maybe toward the tail end, nearing on 56 seconds, Renton. But, you know, realistically for these runs with these competitors, the smallest mistake just absolutely, it will burn you through and through.
Oh man, I think if you miss it by an inch, you miss it by a mile, and I think all these guys know that. That's the game they play. They're all masters at it, and wow, we're going to see how it all goes.
Yeah, we certainly will. Nace came in at third place with 52 seconds, shaving 3 seconds off of Zamdog's score. Took a little bit of a different line, okay? We saw an absolutely ridiculous transfer from a wall ride to get one of the tapes on the top. That was pretty outrageous, Renton. One thing I just can't figure out when watching both of their runs, I thought Zamdog had a great run, then Nace came in and burnt that time. What are we going to have for these final two competitors? Because it is going to be so damn close for this. I don't know how to talk about it. I don't even know what we're going to see.
Well, I mean, that's the beauty of it when it comes down to the wire. I don't think this one is like what we've seen before. I think Bishay absolutely put on a workshop and destroyed the entire field in the last events. This one is a lot closer. This one I think is harder to pick than a broken nose, man. Like, this one is going to be super, super, super close. And I can't wait to see it, man.
Mate, that may well be one of the best sayings I have ever heard. I'm taking that one and putting it in my back pocket.
I copied it. I got it from someone else, but it's a good one.
Oh, that is absolutely grouse. There you go. If you don't take anything away from this, let's take that away. But it's time to get into the run. Let's get into it. It's at the same time. We're going to see both runs. And it's Crofty and Kane here, Renton. The reason we've got them side by side is because they're going to be so damn close. I can already feel it. I mean, look at them. They are literally identical.
Oh, mate, it's a race. It's a race to the end to who can be the champion of the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Ultimate Jam Speed Run. And, man, both these guys laying it down. They've got the same line so far. Man, I mean, it's like it's neck and neck. These guys are a whisker between each other. I mean, this has got to be as close as you can possibly get.
I feel like guys. Oh my god, I think Crofty's out by like a millisecond here, just in front. Now, you got to remember, there's only about 10 seconds left of this run, so it's whoever gets there at the end. They are literally neck and neck, Renton. This is absolutely ridiculous. Who comes out on... Who was it? Crofty. Oh my god,
Crofty's got it, man. That's done and dusted. He's got it. He's won. He's the champ, man. Kane so close, but so far in the end, man. What's that? That's 300ths of a second. I mean, I'm no mathematician, but that is like, seriously, that is about as close as you possibly get between two people in the speedrun format. Wow, Rob, that was pretty intense, bro.
That is absolutely insane. Crofty with 300ths of a second to get through a nail-biting finish to an excellent format. By the way, production, excellent job on the side-by-side. That was insane how close they really were to each other. And all it was one small little millisecond off, one little decision that went the wrong way. That's all that determined it. However, Crofty is your winner for the speedrun format, and we're going to go and have a chat to him right now. Welcome, Crofty, to the Ultimate Jam, mate. You have been an insane competitor throughout. I mean, I do have to ask you here, like, how is it possible for you to do what you do on that speed run? It is absolutely outrageous, shaving the tiniest second off.
It varies. I grinded relentlessly for days trying to get that time. Some days, I think the last day before submissions, I spent like 5 hours and I was planning to go for 8, and I ended up getting the run.
Wow, man, 8 hours planning.
5 hours, yeah.
Yeah, even just considering going for 8, that's mental. I mean, dude, you're like second in the world with that time. Do you reckon you could potentially go for that top spot?
Yeah, but I don't know if I wanted to. It'd be a very hard grind. Obviously, it's like less than 0.2 seconds to get the world record, but because of how fast my time is, it's very hard to cut down those milliseconds.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'd actually love to hear, where is it that you cut down the time there? Because, like, obviously, you know, you've got all the objectives you've got to hit, but where do you find the milliseconds on that run?
So what happened initially was replicating what the world record has done, but then that wasn't even enough. So then I'd go even finer details, seeing how they would angle certain corners and how they would approach them. So then I did that, and it ended up cutting my time down right below Kane's.
Wow, man, that was an impressive performance, man. And I tell you what, the climax of our show, watching you guys go at it head to head, and you laid it down. I
can't wait to rewatch that.
Oh, hey, man, it's great. It's a race. It's a proper race. It's rad.
Yeah, no, it's good to see.
There is a rumor going around that you've turned your internet off to get so that little ugly Kane couldn't see your final score. Is this true?
Yes, this is true. So what I could predict Kane's strategy was what I'd do is, if I got a PB, I would post it on the Tony Hawk Speedrun Discord, and then he'd see that and he'd see, oh, okay, he's beat me, I need to beat him. But if I didn't post it on it, then he'd go further into the in-game leaderboard, see that I've bet him, and then he'd obviously go further. So what I did, very genius tactic, was turn my internet off so that it didn't upload the time. And then he actually, when midnight hit, he thought he won, and then I sent my PB, and I feel really bad for him.
Yeah, it was a good head-to-head. Look, I'd like to get your thoughts on how you kind of shaped up in the competition, because obviously you've kind of been, you know, one of the front runners, if not the front runner, throughout the entirety of the speed run. How did you find the competition?
Very difficult towards the end. So with the warehouse run, that was a run I actually got quite a while ago. But obviously I grinded plenty of time for that, so that was, you know, a grind to get to. Yeah. The school run I didn't put too much particular time into, because I knew that it was top 4. Yeah. And I'm getting a pretty solid time around top in the world, I think, top 15, something like that. So yeah, it was pretty safe. And for grand final, obviously I wanted to shoot for first. So yeah, I definitely put a lot of time into that.
I think that's it, man. I'm stoked to chat with you, and congratulations, man. That was rad.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, very quickly, Crofty, before we let you go, we'll give you the floor here. Do you have any final things you'd like to say? And also, of course, we know you're a streamer. Where can we catch you?
So you can follow my stream at twitch.tv/CroftyM8. My YouTube's called just Crofty, and there isn't really much else for that, really. I don't use many other platforms.
Beautiful. Well, we'll keep it short and sweet, Crofty. Thank you very much for coming on, mate. It's been a pleasure, and congratulations on the victory.
No worries, thank you.
Congrats, man.
Alrighty, there we have it. That is all 3 of our formats done and dusted, Renton. It's been a long journey for most of these players. You heard it there from the wonderful Crofty, how many times he's had to redo that, the hours he's put into it. It's been immense, and it's been a pleasure for us to run everyone through it. On the other side of the break, I did say before, we got a little bit of a tidbit, a little bit of a secret little component hidden away. That is going to be the Renton Miller Award, so stick around and you'll find out who won after this. I guess this is bittersweet, welcoming you back for the final time at the Ultimate Jam. Renton, what a time this has been. The last 6 weeks, I tell you what, we have had some incredible moments on the show.
Mate, absolutely historical. The first time ever we've had a tournament in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and man, it has just not let anyone down. It's gone through the roof. The skills that these guys have through all these different terrains, it's been amazing to say the least.
It certainly has been. We've had, B-Shay absolutely blasting away in the jam and the combo for the finals. We've obviously just had that conversation with Crofty. Is there anything in particular that kind of stood out to you in the last 6 weeks?
Well, I guess that's where we're getting to next. It is the Renton Miller Award, which is kind of super strange for me to say my own name as a part of an award, but I'm pretty stoked that I've been able to give it. And this one is basically, it's kind of like an MVP thing. It's for an all-rounder. We've seen some people dominate in certain areas, but this person has basically been an all-terrain vehicle, a machine going through all of it, absolutely destroyed in every level. Didn't quite win any of them. We have our man that made it through. We have Kane.
Kane, welcome to the Ultimate Jam, my friend, where you have taken away the Renton Miller Award, or as he would put it, the All-Terrain Award. You have been our best competitor across the entire competition, and you are currently, well, you were, in all 3 of the finals. I'd love to get a bit of insight. How hard has it been to make it into all 3 of the formats? Did you find it a challenge at all, or is this something you've been prepared for?
It was something I thought I was prepared for, but there was some tough competition in all the categories. It was pretty rough.
So which one's your favourite, man? I mean, you're good at all 3, but was there one that you favoured, or?
Definitely the speed run is more my forte. I definitely like the speed runs. Yes. But I do like scoring as well. That's also great fun always.
Yeah, right. Do you ever cruise through the game, man? Just take it easy and not try and just win everything, or is it just always pretty competitive, pretty hardcore, pretty high level, high performance?
Yeah, I mess around as you do with any game. You do take it seriously when you want to, and you can mess around at other times with your mates and all that sort of stuff. It's a great fun game.
So, out of all of them, what was your favourite map to work with? The most fun, the most enjoyable map?
Favorite map? I did enjoy the school speedrun. I thought that was pretty fun, and I do like Burnside to score on. It's one of my favorites.
Burnside's a rad skate park, man, in real life as well.
Yeah, it's great. I love watching footage. Burnside, hectic.
We do have to dive into this one because we've just finished watching the speedrun format, and it was neck and neck, literally the entire race. I don't know if you've seen it, but we got to see the actual shot side by side, you and Crofty, and it was 0.3 of a second. I mean, I'm not going to throw salt in the wounds here, but how does it feel that that is the only margin that's kind of dictated it?
No, it was crazy because he did it just before like the deadline as well to submit, and we'd been battling back and forth so many times, maybe 3 or 4 times we beat each other, and then he beat me just at the end. It was pretty crazy.
That's wild. And man, so you guys are the second and third best scores ever. Do you reckon you could have another crack and potentially go for the best score ever, or you got any interest in that? Or
the thing is, the number one dude, he's just too good. He's just the best. He basically routes all the levels himself, and then basically the routes everyone uses mostly. Yeah. He's just like super smart when it comes to the game, and just a really good speedrunner as well. So he's got all the world records.
So like I think it's 0.5 of a second off you having that title. So like, is it really, are the margins that small on these kind of runs?
Yeah, especially like it's basically almost perfection. Like when you get to that number one spot, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, just milliseconds in it. That's absolutely insane. Renton, did you have any final questions?
Well, you just mentioned it then. You got a perfect run. You reckon there is a perfect run, or you think it's it can always be beaten by something?
No, it's been proven time again. There's always something, but do you want to put the effort into spend all those hours doing that and perfecting it? It's a lot of effort.
Honestly, you have been phenomenal throughout the entire competition. It's been a pleasure to watch you play. Did you have any final thoughts or anything you'd like to say before we let you go?
Yeah, just shout out Crofty. He's a great player. We were mates before and after this from Tony Hawk Speedrunning. He's a great guy. I'm glad that he stepped up to the plate and he earned his win. It was fantastic. Been amazing, this show and all that. Been wanting a Tony Hawk contest like this for years, so good to take part.
Good. Actually, very quickly, what are you going to do with the board, man?
The board would definitely be a wall board.
Perfect.
Already got a Tony Hawk board and a big THPS poster framed. I can put it up with those.
Nice, man. That'll be a good bit of memorabilia for you. Well, look, mate, we really have enjoyed having you on the show. It's been great to meet you and put a face to the name. And look, I hope we get to cross paths again in the future. So thanks again for coming on.
It's been great. Thank you, guys.
And with that out of the way, I guess it's time to close the curtains here, Renton. Before we do, it needs to be said, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 is out on all platforms, including Nintendo Switch. And Renton, we talk about this every time, but I know that you're going to take that with full use. I know that you're a busy man or constantly on the move, so that will be a big one, I'm sure, for you, especially in the next couple of weeks from how it sounds.
Yeah, man, I got a lot of travel coming up, so having it on the Switch is going to be absolutely perfect. I mean, I'm super inspired. I mean, this game, I started playing it, I think, like 20 years ago. Just as relevant now as it was then, and to be able to be a part of this historical moment of this tournament, first time in the world that's happened, it's been an absolute pleasure and an honour. And I'm super stoked to have been here with yourself to make it all happen, Rob.
It's been my pleasure to work alongside you, Renton. And of course, alongside the wonderful sponsors that we've had on board in 7+, Fuel TV, and the wonderful Activision. Of course, Order have been fantastic throughout. They've put on a great product for us to be able to show you guys. So make sure you go across, follow them on Twitter with Order_Army. So go ahead and chuck them a follow, keep up to date with everything. But that is the curtains finally closing, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been an absolute pleasure at this historical event, a first of its kind. We look forward to maybe bringing another one back in the future. We won't hold you to that, though. We'll let you go for now. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.